Good morning, Monday morning. Welcome, everyone. I'm glad that you're here this morning. Welcome to today's ad-free live stream. Welcome, Jason. I'm glad you're here. My name's Tyler. If you're here for the first time, I'm glad that you decided to join us this morning, and I'm going to help you navigate the wild world of day trading futures. So here's what you can expect during these live streams. I'm going to be breaking down live price action. I'm going to be sharing my daily trading bias and real-time trades to give you a front row seat to all the actions. No fluff, just the good stuff. Now, if you're watching this after the stream, you can jump right to the key moments using the chapter markers below. You'll find all the trades that I've taken, along with a detailed explanation of why and what I was thinking throughout the process. Now, for those of you that are ready to take your trading to the next level, I got a special discount for my community. Use the code DTJ to get, I believe right now it's 50% off your next evaluation on Apex. To start your funded journey with Apex, you can find all the links and codes down in the description of this video. And with that, let's go ahead and get started. Let's open in prayer. And let's check out what's been happening in the market. Father, we just thank you for the opportunity to build wealth. We thank you for the opportunity to trade. Lord, I thank you that you've given us and we have the mind of Christ. So, Father, we are not tempted. We are not manipulated by the woos and the whips of the market. But, Father, we can read it effectively and efficiently. Father, we receive what you have for us from the market today. We renounce any selfish ambition, and we don't become greedy for more. We receive what you have for us, Father, in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, let's rock and roll, folks. It's going to be a good day. I want to see what we got for the news calendar today because I have not checked the news. So let's jump over to my screen. There we go. Let's go to the calendar. So Monday, October 14th, we have U.S. bank holiday and FOMC member speaks at 3 p.m. So I expect pretty much very, very, very poor price action this morning. We're going to see if we get any type of basically any type of move. We already ran the buy side liquidity right here, which was a big level, and we ran that in pre-market. So it doesn't surprise me that it ran pre-market. So I'm expecting the market to be somewhat choppy, to be somewhat manipulative, and potentially had a low volume. So let's jump back to the screen here. So I think we already ran this level right here. So we're going to have to watch the market. We may be looking at a 10 handle move. That's really what I'm going to try to get out of the market is 10 handles. I'm not going to really look for any big extended moves. I'm going to look to get 10 handles and call it a day, especially on a bank type holiday where there isn't going to be a lot of action. So it's going to be a really low key, chill, probably a short stream, and we'll do that and get running. Okay. So let's start with a higher time frame analysis and let's see what's happening here this morning. Good morning, Ted, Jonathan, John, Jason. Glad to have you guys this morning. It's going to be a good morning. Okay, so the downside to looking too far back on lower time frames is we're going to see a lot of volume imbalances. However, when we jump to the daily, it's going to be pretty clean, so we'll use the daily for our higher time frame. And so we have this daily fair value gap that we're sitting right here, and we come up basically to the consequent encroachment of that fair value gap. I'm going to jump out even more. We're going to jump to the weekly. Looks like we have a high. This weekly fair value gap, the high is sitting right here. So we're going to call that we're really close to that. All right, so we got the weekly fair value gap high, meaning we'll also come up against that low that's sitting basically right there in price. This will be a swing low at some point in lower time frame. So let's drop down to the daily. So there's that swing point low on the daily time frame, overlapping with a fair value gap. We got a fair value gap here. I like this low. The market we've seen is just so weird. I don't know why we're running towards all-time highs again. There's wars. Most Americans are making less money, suffering more, and the market's running to all-time highs. That makes logical sense, doesn't it? All right, so we're getting some structure here. After we've hit buy-side liquidity, I like the way this structure looks. Let's see if we get a 5-minute change in state of delivery. Well, there's really nothing for us to go off of on that change in delivery. Jordy, how'd you guess? That's what we're shooting for. That's what we're going for. Oh, you bet 100% manipulation for an election. All right, so here's the thing. This is my buy-side liquidity that we ran. Could it go higher potentially, but there's nothing, and it's too far away for me to really consider it. Too far back in time. So I'm watching this. This is our fair value gap. High, low, higher, high. I want to see a change in state of delivery here. Okay. I'm sorry, a market structure shift. Okay, we want to see a market structure shift. So even though this looks really nice right here, I would not take it because we never swept this low. Okay, we need to see a low swept here. And we got 3 minutes, so this might be one of those types of trades that happen right at open. It's going to be very subjective if you're going to want to take that or not. All right, there's a sweep of the low right there. All right, we got 22 people. Let's get up to 11 likes, and then I will take that first trade on screen. I'm going light today, folks, for obvious reasons. I'm not going to let a trade go against me and hurt me in the long run, so... Okay, we're lit, we're green, baby. We're green. Okay. So the problem with what we're seeing right here is we filled the fair value gap that I was interested in. Now that we have this level here, I'm looking at this breaker. This market structure shift is also the breaker, okay? I'm watching these volume imbalances right here. That's really what I would be looking at, okay? The volume imbalances are the only thing that's left here that seem somewhat interesting. And with a minute left, let's see if we can get it. Maybe we'll get a tight stop loss in here. And yeah, it's completely different on the micros, guys. It's completely different. So our analysis needs to be on here. Our analysis needs to be on the minis, not the micros. I will execute on the minis. I'll show you on the minis, but what I'm constantly looking at is this, is my micros or my mini contract screen. Okay? Son of a gun. Let's see if the opening price is going to give it to us. Let's mark this here real quick when that changes. All right, there's opening price. Okay. There's that wick into those volume imbalances that I told you. Okay. But it went down and back up just as fast. So a little too volatile for what I would want to do right at the moment. I like it going lower though. See how it fit? It literally filled it to the tick. That volume, those volume imbalances. Okay, I want to see how this closes. Okay, forget all that. It did everything we wanted to, but it all did it in one candle in 30 seconds, and now it's going to do something else. We are going higher, folks. There's nothing on the 2 minute, nothing on the 1 minute that I like. The 30-second, nothing either. Yeah. Unless you wanted to play base straight up momentum, that's all we had options on so far. This market structure shift trade would have worked. We're watching the bodies though. That's interesting. Let's see if we close red here. If we close red, that's right in this breaker still. Disregarding this swing high. I don't care about that. Okay, so we closed here. These stinking wicks. What is our, sorry, let's run to regular trading hours and let's drop our opening range. All right, this is probably going to be our cleanest opportunity for some type of trade here. If we get it. I'm not even sure we get it. Okay. And look where it's ending, right in the middle of the new week opening gap that was created this morning or yesterday. So we're going to keep track of this weekly fair value gap high. This is, I'm looking at this as not liquidity, but filling an imbalance on the weekly time frame. Good morning, ERP. Volume is going to disappear pretty quickly. So we want our opportunity to be probably within this first macro at 10 a.m. That's probably going to be our only opportunity for a trade. And if we don't get one, we don't get one, and we'll call it a day. But that's what we're looking for. Good morning, Josh, Kelpie, Philippe. Glad to have you guys this morning. Midnight open is way down here, and we never ran it. So I could see us maybe coming up here, filling this weekly fair value gap completely, and then just basically crap price action all the way down here over the rest of the day. Every single one of these order blocks has been, there's one right there. Now the question is, does it go higher from here? And I would guess probably yes. just as a quick reminder for those that use Apex, look, oh my gosh, look at that. Isn't that just a coincidence? Isn't that crazy? For those of you that use Apex, don't forget to cancel any failed eval accounts. I just opened mine and I saw a subscription was I bought apparently I bought a new eval account without knowing it. A month of time went by and I didn't pay attention. So now I have a new eval account. Just remember that. Now, as fast as this went up, it will come down if we are going to move lower. Correct. Nothing on the 1 minute. And not surprising considering the day that we're on. I mean, who? I mean, besides other ICT traders, is going to have this on their chart, and who cares if it goes higher? Look, I mean, look at where it stops. This is the weekly right there. This is from July 8th. Isn't that crazy? So good news, folks. I hit about the halfway point for my recordings for the Purpose Driven Trader Academy. So I've making some progress. Hoping to have that out sometime next month. Absolutely for sure by Black Friday. That's kind of the date I have in the back of my mind, but would love to get out that soon, get it out sooner. A sweep of the high with a very bearish type candle. I like that. Still waiting for this 5-minute candle to close. And ideally another 5-minute candle to close. Because this will be our change in state of delivery about right here on the 5-minute time frame. 5-minute may be too large for how quick this move may take place. Here's the 15-minute time frame. We do have this fair value gap that's sitting right here. We did wick into this first fair value gap, not surprising. And then an explosion higher off open. Surprise, surprise. All right, I'm looking at this 30-second here. And we have this swing low. What does that give us? A little less than 10 handles. If they can make Columbus Day a holiday, they need to make November 5th a holiday. You guys should know what I'm referring to without referring to it. I'm serious. This is probably a one and done type trade. There's probably not going to be very much opportunity today. And this is not one of those days where you're like, oh, I think it's going to go down. Let me anticipate a move. Oh, boy. Don't do that. Bonfire, you bet. Depends on what we're throwing in the bonfire. Depends on what we're throwing in that bonfire. You like how really nothing. Except we may get a 1 minute fair value gap out of that. I do forget that not everybody is in the United States. November 5th is our is the day that we vote for the next president of the United States. And it is not a federal holiday, so a lot of people aren't able to vote due to schedules. But if it was a federal holiday, it would be a lot easier. This looks nice. I'm not interested in it though. Wicking down into the this down close candle. Down into this this weekly fair value gap high. Let's see if it wants to leave this fair value gap right here. Looks like we are. Ghost Piper, welcome. Welcome. Okay, well, what we're doing right now is we were waiting for our first fair value gap on the 1 minute, which we just got. We are not expecting anything absolutely fantastic today because it is a bank holiday here in the States. But we're looking for 10 handles. We're looking for a small move on a day where we aren't expecting to get fantastic price action. The market typically is not very good on days like this. But if you are able to get green and get a trade in, be done after that. Don't try to continue. It can be very crappy price action. And we may just be doing a market maker sell model. We have our consolidation here, our accumulation. We may have our smart money reversal over here, running these lows back down, and maybe even running further towards the midpoint of the opening range gap, our midnight open down here, and we have our grouping of the new week opening gap sitting way down here. Now, for those of you, for example, Ghost Piper, may not know what I'm referring to. In time, you will be. My goal for you today is to sit, watch, and see the precision of some of the things that I'm calling out. For example, this is a weekly fair value gap high that's been on the chart. This is from July 8th. Here's July 8th right here, weekly. I marked that high right here. And when we came up to it, we stopped on it to almost to the tick. I don't care if it wants to go higher from there. My point is, when you use ICT Concepts and understand that the market is algorithmic based, it lands on specific key levels really nicely. But the great thing about algorithmic based means it's duplicatable and it's repeatable, meaning we can put together a strategy, a system that will repeat itself, and you can rely on it to a certain degree as long as you're following your rules. And that's kind of what we're doing here. We're waiting for now our model, our signatures and price to tell us that we have a higher probability of seeing a trade take place in our favor. And so what we're looking for is an inversion model. I have videos on that on my channel. You're welcome to check those out. Right now, I want to see if we have the energy to get past the midpoint of this wick, that red line. Okay, so we closed above it, meaning we're probably going to run this high or make equal highs. There's some equal highs right there. But this price action is not bearish by any means. So anything that is aggressive, any bearish candle, I'm not going to pay much attention to it until it shows me that it wants to move the other direction. For example, a 5-minute change in state of delivery, which we have not gotten anything close to that. We're just creeping higher and higher and higher and missing all of this wonderful move. We didn't have any entry here that we could have gotten into as far as my models go, so I didn't take anything. We didn't even hit this breaker right here. You could say we hit this breaker, this low, high, lower, low. We go higher. This candle right here wicks down into it. Sure. But that's too subtle. I don't like subtle signatures in price. I want the obvious signatures in price. And those are the trades that I'll take. Bro, I took a 5 RR at Euro USD on the Judas. Way to go. Dennis, way to go, my friend. Good trade. Now I'd call it a day. Tony, 100%. Never forget. Ted, you've gotten 20 handles already? Way to go. If you've gotten 20 handles, call it a day. You don't want to overdo it. Not on a day like this. What do I mean by a day like this? A holiday. We could still see great price action. I doubt it though. But all right, so we did push higher once we moved above that wick. Okay? I will be taking another payout tomorrow on Apex. This another reason why I'm sizing down is how many of you have been in a payout status or really close to passing your account, and it's in the back of your mind and you're like, ooh, I'm so close. And subconsciously, it affects the rest of your trading. You pick a poor setup, and then it's like, oh, crap. I was so close. Now I'm not. That psychological barrier of, man, I'm almost going to get something is a real deal. So one way to overcome that and master that is by reducing size, making the trade size almost insignificant, whether it's a win or a loss. So it makes that feeling irrelevant. And so now your analysis is still legit. It's a real type of, now it doesn't mean it's going to be correct, but at least your analysis isn't manipulated by the desire to pass the account. It's not manipulated by the desire to get a payout. So when you do that over and over again, you'll find you'll find that it will help in your executions. Zeus. No, Zeus. Zeus. No, I did not. No, I did nothing. And they paid me out several weeks ago. They paid me out in 2 days. And then the next one I got, they paid me out in 1 day. I mean, they fixed it. And after that happened, I saw a message from Apex basically saying, hey, we're delivering on our promise on faster payouts. It wasn't directed to me. It was just like one of those, pinned on the bulletin board type messages for everybody to see. No, so I've literally done nothing different. The only thing different I would say that I can only speak to when I compare to other traders is, one, right now my size isn't gigantic. I'm not taking gigantic payouts. I'm not at that stage yet in my own personal journey. Number 2, my trading is extremely consistent. I'm not getting, a $10,000 win and then, $10,000 losses. My goal is to get $200 wins, $400 wins, and keep my losses to $200. Right now I have 5 PA accounts. I had 9 in July, and anybody on here that's been here for at least a month, 2 months can tell you what happened with those. Ted, 20,694. You know what I would look at? What I like is I want to see what this is. Let's do a target. There's 3 standard deviations, 4 standard deviations. When we get to this level, this is kind of the only thing I'm looking at. We could go to another contract to kind of look further back in time. But I mean, you look back here, because this is what on this contract, this is what that price action looks like on the 15-minute. It's just not very, it's hard to use. And where are we right now? We're sitting above this swing high city that's right here. We have all of those lows right here. So that's why going to maybe the 4 hour would be better. Oh, I like that. Do you guys see that 4-hour volume imbalance right there? See, the one hour is still yucky, and I don't like that. The 4-hour looks good. Ted, how'd you get that? Is this how you got that level? I'm just wondering if we just put together the same analysis. You could also look at this fair value gap and act as an inversion fair value gap here. $690, $250, $690, $250 on mine. I don't know if we want to get, it could reach all the way up to this volume imbalance on this 4-hour. That seems like the most logical place. It's to me, honestly, it's insane that we're seeing this on a bank holiday. Yeah, I mean, Sandra, I really don't want the NQ to go to all-time highs again. I mean, I don't know if you guys were trading back when we were all-time highs for like weeks at a time. It's not the funnest trading. It's not fun trading. No problem, Ted. All right, so I'm curious if we stop at this level here. Basically, this is anchored on this swing high to this swing low. This is a manipulation leg, followed by the expansion leg. And if we're on the side of the trade, typically on the Nasdaq, you can see an expansion to 4 standard deviations, which we're at right here. I think we're going to have a reaction lower right here. Not because of this level, but because of how aggressive this part was. I think we could get some manipulation right here. Or some type of retracement. First level that I want to keep track of is this order block right here. Next is this fair value gap, which possibly could turn into an inversion fair value gap. targeting these swing lows down here. We're awfully close to that midpoint. Excuse me. I will note here that the closed of these bodies is sitting right here. 96.95 is this down close candle. At this point, we're just trying to find levels that make sense to where if we see a reversal, we can say with confidence that it's actually going to play out. So I'm not dragging this all the way over. If you look at my screen, you see these hash marks that go up and down. It's a cross, right? That's on both sides of my... When I put this level on here, it shows up on my other chart. On the chart on the right, you should see those hashes there line up. So that's how I'm lining these up. I'm not dragging these all the way because I just don't want all the lines on my chart. Just by looking at what I'm seeing here, I think we may go a little bit higher. It's already 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, so that sucks. Ted, see you, my friend. If we're going to see higher prices, I want to see it respect the premium portion of this fair value gap. Meaning, I don't care about the wicks. The wicks can come down here, but I want to see the bodies stay above here. I'm not looking for a long. We're too extended for me to take a bullish trade. I'm looking for these discount PD arrays to fail. So this is considered a discount PD array because price is coming down into it. Now, what I would want to see happen is the premium portion fail, and then the next, this discount PD array fail, this bullish order block. When we see price running through discount PD arrays, tells us price is now running the potential of the direction. And then we wanted to see it respect premium arrays, find support in premium or resistance in premium arrays, and continue lower. All right, so see how it closed inside the fair value gap in the premium portion? Now the question is, are we going to stay here and move higher, or are we going to start closing in the lower half and maybe violate this order block and close below this fair value gap, which could give us a trade down to here? That's kind of what I'm looking for. If it runs to this low before it closes, I will not take that trade. Especially in a bullish environment, we need to see the close. Because I've seen wicks or candles, it's like it's obviously going to close, and then it wicks back up, and then it moves higher. That's what we're trying to avoid. $10 seconds. Let's see if we get it here. All right. We're going to try that. We're targeting this swing low right here.
Order submitted.
And I'm going to move it down to this one, actually. Stop is if we close above this fair value gap. It would not surprise me if we just go the other direction here. This is why we have smaller size. We're in a bullish environment. But we're in premium, so I'm at least thinking we could run to this low.
Order submitted.
When we hit this low, you should be taking some profit. If not, moving your stop to break even. I'm not liking this. I want it to move aggressively in my favor. But remember, we are on a bank holiday, which may not do it for us. All right. So after a flash like that, it makes me want to begin moving my stop. I'm going to move it here. I do not want it to see it run the other direction at this point. Yes, I'm modifying my rules. Okay, I got stopped out for a very small loss. But when I get that a flash like that lower, if it starts running the other way, I want to get out. It could absolutely still work, but I just don't trust the market right now. We'll see what happens with these candles. If we respect this, because when we close below it, I wanted to see it come into it and move away from it very quickly. It closed below it on my count right here. Did not. Oh, I think you are correct. It closed on it, but there it goes. Now it's moving. I see. All right, there's the close there.
Order submitted.
I'll take that. You were correct. So that made me take that again. Get 40 for me. Come on.
Order submitted.
All right, there's 40 handles. I took profit on that. So for those of you on the stream that don't know Mr. Ryan here, that is my brother. He's been being really kind to me right now. All right, where are we? Oh, I didn't show that trade, did I? I didn't drop back to the other. I didn't do that. Here, I want to see this hold right there. That's what I want to see hold right now. I want to see this level hold and a continue move lower. This is the type of environment you could see a market maker sell model. It's just a bank holiday. So yeah, with the bearish OB that was nice. Right here. Why would you have been so? Oh, because you would have held it. You wouldn't have taken your 10 handles. I would have taken. I did. I'm out. I'm outie. I'm not holding any extended move for this market. I'll take another trade on this sell side curve. I'll try to take another trade on this if it presents itself. What I would like to see is a fair value gap left right here. I would love a fair value gap like there that overlaps with this level there on the buy side of the curve. I don't think it's going to give it to us, but we can still use this series of down close, this bullish order block right here, use the low that overlaps with this bearish order block. So when price comes back up into this level, we could use that as a short opportunity. Now, because of this level here, I don't think we may get that. We may just see an extended move right here, a nice displacement lower. But that's kind of what I would want to see, is this level come back up into this level. Based on the price action, I don't think we're going to leave very many fair value gaps. And we have one right here. I would love, if it came back up into this level, I would consider going short. It's also a breaker. For those of you that don't know, this is a market maker sell model, more than likely. So my expectation is that we run at least to the 930 opening price. Now, how we get there, I don't know, but this is what I'm expecting. Because of since it's a bank holiday, I'm not really looking to try to hold for a big move down like this. I'm not. I just won't do it. I'm not going to put my capital at risk like that. I'm going to take small wins and I'm going to get in and out despite knowing that it could complete here. I'm just not going to do it on a bank holiday because I'm trading with real capital. When you're trading with real capital, why put that at risk when you know the odds could be against you? I'm not going to do it. So we filled this fair value gap sitting right here. I was hoping it was going to reach back up into this one, but what did we do? I told you it's probably not going to leave many fair value gaps. It filled this one, and then now it's moving lower. I was hoping it was going to come up to this one. I know it was a tall order to ask for because we have this candle right here. So it was a little bit of a stretch wanting to see it come that high. Here's an immediate rebalance. This candle is completely rebalanced. I expect it. Well, it's doing it before I can actually say it. I was expecting it to just explode lower. I know it sounds like I'm just saying it after I'm seeing it, but I'm not. This candle here, this giant wick, moves lower, and then what do? We close below this wick. This is a balanced price range. There's no if we are in fact moving lower, there's no reason for it to come back up here. So when we see this close and the immediate next candle comes back up and rebalances up to this wick's low, yeah, it can run past it. I expect it. This is an immediate rebalance. I expect it to run lower. That's what I want to see. Now, do I take trades off of that? Not really. This is just reading order flow, and that's really what I'm doing is just reading order flow. And the more confident you get at reading order flow, the higher probability you have of taking a good setup, right? I mean, you look at the trade that we took. I just wanted it to close below. I thought it closed below here. It actually closed in line with it. So when this candle closed below and it wicked back up to this inversion fair value gap, that's when I'm like, I'll take that. And it ran the low. It ran my lows that I wanted, and I took the profit for 10 handles. So now that we wick back up into this a little bit more, could we see higher prices? I'm going to say yes. So I just told you that I expected this to explode lower because of this balanced area. But what did this candle do? Okay, now that this is old news now, what did this candle do? This candle rebalanced and ran into this order block and this weekly fair value gap high. Okay, it could, if it wanted to, retrace, and it would be legitimate because this candle has filled a fair value gap. It's come up into this bullish order block. If we are in fact bullish and wants to go higher, it could go higher from here. This is where reading order flow is helpful. You can't just be set on, oh wow, that did run lower, it must want to continue going lower. No, you have to look left. Look left and see what other discount PD arrays we may be running into. And you need to decide, does this discount PD array provide enough context for it to move higher? For me, I don't think so, but you need to consider that. So right now, what I want to see happen is the midpoint of this wick to be ran. I need to close below this midpoint of that wick. That's going to tell me we may want to continue to see lower prices. Am I taking a trade off of that? No. I'm just reading order flow. There's not a single fair value gap in here. The only one that I pointed out was this one and this one here. And I really wanted this small fair value gap right here to be hit. It didn't. It reached up into this one and then it dropped. That was a trade. I told you if it came into this level here, I was going to take the trade. It came into this, and rather it came into this one, and what immediately followed it. A great move. So our analysis is still, in my mind, I'm happy with my analysis because I was right on time. I was correct in when price wanted to move. I expected it to come up into one of these levels and then give us a nice push lower. And it did. It just didn't come up to the level I wanted, which is fine. So the question at this point is, how deep or how high of a retracement do we expect price to go? I could see this level come up to again. This is our swing high, and we have a breaker above it. So I could see price coming into this level in here and then potentially continue lower. That's kind of the context I would want to see happen if I'm going to participate in another move. The only way I would override that analysis is if we get a bullish fair value gap and we violate it aggressively. I will jump into that immediately because the aggression and the fair value gap combined tell me that we're going to see a move lower sooner. But this is kind of the context I would want to see in price somewhere in this area to give me a move lower. So see this order block we had marked out before? We couldn't even get the bodies below this order block. We couldn't even reach down to the midpoint of this wick. This is what I mean by you have to change. As you get more data, you got to change your analysis based on what you're seeing in price. We had a discount PD array we were running into here, a fair value gap here, and price is telling us it wants to do a retracement. It wants to retrace to higher to a specific level. I'm thinking at least this swing high, maybe this breaker. Those are the levels I would like to see. It could stop prematurely to this bearish order block, which we're running into right now. This would be another one that we could see. But I'm telling you what I would want to see. And I'll take my trades based on that. And if we don't get it, I'm okay. I'm green for today, and I will be able to take a payout tomorrow. So, I mean, I'm not stressing. Okay, so let's talk about what happens when we get up to these levels. What do we do? Well, I'm not going to just blindly take a short. What I would want to see is a 1 minute change in state of delivery to tell me price wants to begin moving the other way. That's kind of what I would want to see happen. If you're liking the commentary, folks, hit the like button for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'd really like that. I'm trying to do this in a way so that you guys can learn, understand why. That's what I said at the beginning of the video. This is what I'm going to do to help teach you how to do it. Okay, so we just ran that swing high. Are we getting in short here? No. Look at that candle. I'm not going to get in short on that. I'm going to wait to see if we find resistance in this level because I could be wrong. I really do like this level though. This looks really nice. You could do a 10 handle stop loss if you wanted. Boom, right there. Put a standard 10 handle stop loss and go short right there if you wanted. I'm not doing it because I like waiting for the 1 minute change in state of delivery to know I'm not just trying to go short when it's extremely bullish, because we're in a bullish environment right now. But if we get a down close candle here around this area, that's nice. That's good. This is why I should probably look at ES, John. That is good information. If it took external high on ES, this has a higher probability of playing out because there's a good chance ES is going to retrace. Okay, we filled this. We filled this. Let's see if we get a down close candle here. What color it gets? All right, we got there. I'll go short there. I will see if this wants to play out here. I'm willing to take that risk.
Order submitted.
This is a bullish breaker right here we're running into. If we close above this candle, I'll close my trade. Okay, I probably won't close it now. I like that wick lower. Let's see if it wants to play out here. Probably shouldn't have it at that swing high. Let's give it a little more room. 34. If this candle closes, we got equal. This order, that hasn't become an order block quite yet. It will in 21 seconds, unfortunately. I want to see if we want to retrace right here. I really needed to run these equal lows right here. Once we get below these equal lows, if we do that, no, that's not good. This is not good. That reaction and then back up to green with 30 seconds left, I'm probably getting stopped out. All right, we just swept that high. There's a stop. Yeah. All right. I still like lower prices here, folks. It's going to have stopped me out with that wick and then run in my direction.
Order submitted.
I want to see if it pushes right here. Gives me a little bit of green. Run those equal lows for me. Glory to God. What do we got going on? What happened? Did I miss something? Which bar? No, I waited. My intention was to take this short on based on this breaker. And so we had a wrong analysis basically. We have this swing high. We have a 1 minute fair value gap here. Yeah, this is just indicative of bank holiday crappy price action, in my opinion. It's still respecting all these levels. It's just in consolidation right now. Inside this series of down close candles, so this bullish order block. And that's where we're finding our resistance. It's just, it's not giving us, here we had this swing high, grabbed. We closed below this 1 minute fair value gap. And we should have, or we wanted to see this hit this swing low right here, or these equal lows. That's really what I wanted to see happen, and we didn't get that. Bounce off the weekly. Yeah, we got this low resistance liquidity that's setting up. But there's just nothing for us to play off of it. Even though it looks as if you want to take a trade in here, there's nothing that we can key off of for a short. All of this is consolidation. These wicks are really choppy, or these wicks are very long and filling just about everything. So even though the higher time frame narrative, the 2-minute looks decent actually, there's nothing for us to really key off of, except I like this. I think if we can close and get out of all of this and we close below this 2-minute fair value gap, I would be interested in continuing the opportunity to see lower prices. Until we do, I would sit on my hands because we're doing all of this back and forth. We're still respecting at least this 2-minute or down close candle, this order block or this breaker. The bodies have been inside this breaker block right here. It's also been respecting this bearish order block right here for lower prices. Just requires patience. We can't. Oh, that's interesting. I missed this completely. We came up into this 5-minute level here, and we've respected. We hit up the consequent encroachment of that 5-minute. It's 10:40 right now, so we're coming up in the 11 a.m. macro, which I like as an opportunity to see a trade play out. See if we're redelivering off of, oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't, that was in the way. Here's that 5-minute fair value gap. that we wicked up into, and we respected the consequent encroachment of those levels. I would like to see this 15-minute close red or black, because we did redeliver off of this fair value gap on the 15-minute. Our best opportunity as far as trade ideas would be this fair value gap right here. I don't see anything else. And this is also playing off the idea that this is a breaker. So let's just move this up to the 2-minute. It sucks that ten handles would still work there on the 2-minute so far. My stop loss for the breaker is 10 handles. That's why when you saw me get stopped out on that breaker, it was a 10 handle stop loss. Most of the time I see it respect 10 handles. In this case, it wicked just above my entry based on the 1-minute, and has been respecting that swing high since then. I want to see it reject that breaker right here. Do you understand why we are not trading in any of this? Because it's just going back and forth. Look, it looks like it's respecting that breaker. So it respected that breaker as far as the body close. Let's see if this candle can close below this green body. If we do, we'll probably get a run lower. What I don't want to see is a just wick below there. See, there it is. Now we got 2 minutes left on this, on a minute 30 on the 2-minute candle. There's just, we do have this tiny fair value gap on the 1-minute. Son of a gun. This is what sucks. You see this? This is why you don't take big stabs like this down. This body is going to close above this 1-minute, and we still have 1 minute left. Well, so let's see where it closes in the next 55 seconds. Hopefully it doesn't run this whole level for us. Hopefully we get a close, we retrace some, and then we continue lower. You're going to want to go light. Don't go heavy on a trade like this. We're on a holiday. This should be eval only, to be honest. Eval only. The 5-minute didn't close below that. Interesting. There's a short opportunity if I'm not taking it. We're finding resistance on this 2 minute. I'm not going to do that quite yet. I'm looking at this saying we were finding resistance here. If we close above this aggressively, that could be a 1 minute long to this high right here. Did that close above it? No, it didn't. Okay. Looking for this close below on the 2 minute ideally, which is in a minute and a half. If it closes on the 1, that could still work. It looks as if it's running without us, folks. Now, don't be thinking like, well, these concepts don't work then. No, it's a bank holiday. It's a bank holiday. You can't think that the concepts don't work because we're missing all these trades because it's running without us. It's because it's a freaking bank holiday. All right, here's the close. Way lower. I would love to see a retracement higher and then to take that short. I want to see it push higher right here without running that low. Give me just a nice big candle. I'll take that. We'll see if it wants to run to these lows. Will not let it go back to break even on me. If it wants to stop me out, that's fine. I'll take a stop out at break even. I'm going to see if it wants to push right now. Going to target this low down here. Yeah, I think it's going to run me here. I think I'm going to drop this down here. All right, so grabbed one. All right, 127 ticks right there, folks. That's what you wait for. That's what you wait for. Boom. Oh boy, does that feel good. It works. The concepts work. They work. It didn't fail me. Hit the like button. Come on. Wasn't that, oh man, didn't that require so much analysis? It worked. It just, we had to wait for the thing. We had to wait for the setup. What did I say? This 2-minute looked the juiciest. The 2-minute looked the most obvious. I did not like where it closed, but when it went up right here and it stopped and started retracing, I'm like, nope, I'm getting in this. It's gonna run without me. Target that swing low and then this swing low down here. So this is technically internal liquidity right here. This is our external liquidity we want to grab. This is ultimately where we want to see price run to. But I can tell you, folks, I'm not taking another trade today. Nope. I'm not going to risk more capital. I'm green. I'm green and lean. I know it's so tempting. You can't. Don't do it, Deborah. Yeah, I've disconnected my trade copier. It is done. Now what I could do is trade an eval. But I think I'm going to be done for today. Folks, I think we're going to call it a day here. I'm pretty confident I will not be on tomorrow. I'm pretty confident that will not happen. Let's just look at the calendar. What is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Tuesday. And we got no news tomorrow either. We got Empire State Manufacturing Index. Yeah. With it not being a no news day and knowing that I probably need to do some stuff with my real estate team, I'm probably not going to be on tomorrow. So let's plan on Wednesday morning. Let's plan on Wednesday morning at 9:20 Eastern Standard Time. Deborah, I want to comment on. Yeah, I think it may be Sandra, but when you have a bank holiday, we really shouldn't be trading anyway. But Deborah, I want to say something. I can say this for me and many other traders. That statement right there is the beginning of your future. I really can do this. I really can do this, but I want to change your statement. And I will master the psychology aspect. That takes time. But when you can read price action without actually taking your trades, and you can see the setups, and there's going to be a moment you just go, man, I can do this. I'll speak for myself and any other profitable trader. They all had these moments of like, it is so close. This is so possible. When you can do that, it is just a matter of time, as Jason says, yet. You may not have it yet, but you will get it. Okay? So now what you're trading, Deborah, I'm speaking to everybody else here that struggles with their psychology. If your issue is not the strategy, but the psychology, I'm going to tell you what your primary goal is. Your primary goal is not money. Your primary goal is writing out what you're going to do in different situations. So when you're in them, now I know what my goal is. I need to follow this. I got to do this. I got to master my psychology, because it doesn't matter about anything else. You master the psychology portion of it, and you know you can walk away when you need to. I'm telling you what, you will see your P&L start to tick higher and higher, higher and higher, higher and higher. It's just a matter of time. I'm telling you, that statement is what so many of other traders have said. And those who are willing to stick it out and make mastering their psychology their primary goal, do it. They do it. And so will you. So will you. I believe it. So will you. Just give yourself time. Let the process play out, and you will see it in your trading. So with that, folks, let's end it there. For those of you that are green, I'm proud of you. For those of you that may not be green, I'm telling you to log off. Don't trade anymore. And that is something to be proud of as well. Whether you're green or red, be proud in your ability to walk away. So, God bless you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. We'll see you guys here Wednesday. Wednesday. We will be back rocking and rolling. God bless you guys. We'll talk to you soon.